Good evening. Listen to this. Danny Calhill stood slightly dazed in a blizzard of confetti as the audience screamed and his family ran on stage. He had won season 8 of NBC's reality television show, The Biggest Loser, shedding more weight than anyone had ever shed before on that program. He lost an astonishing 239 pounds in 7 months. Do you know how much that is?
No, I forgot.
7 months. That's 34 pounds, a little over 34 pounds a month. That's more than a pound a day. Like, where does it go? You burn fat. What does it just like go up in smoke?
No, there would be nothing left of me.
It's crazy. When he got on the scale for all to see that evening, this was in December 8th, 2009, he weighed just 191 pounds. He was down from 430. He's dressed in a t-shirt, knee-length shorts. He was lean, he was athletic, and he was as handsome as a model. He said, I got my life back. I got my life back. He goes, I feel like $1 million. Mr. Calhill left the show's stage in Hollywood and he flew directly to New York to start a triumphal tour of all the talk shows, right? He's chatting it up with Jay Leno, Regis Philbin, Joy Behar. And as he heard from all of his fans all over the world, his elation knew no bounds. He was on top of the world.
I'm on top of the world.
7 months, down 34 pounds. Insane. But in the years since, listen to this, more than 100 pounds have crept back onto his 5'11" frame, despite his best efforts. And in fact, most of the contestants in that season regained as much, if not all, the weight that they lost that they worked so hard for. Some of them are even heavier now.
That's crazy.
So John V sent me a bunch of stuff about this. I want to just kind of hit on his little comments real quick because, you know, we don't want to shame these people. It was a biological mess up. The show's actually coming back and it's getting very bad press. It says The Biggest Loser is back and it is toxic as ever. Look into this stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
And what?
The Biggest Loser.
Way to put it? Toxic?
I'm going to just look into it. So
look into it. Please going to look into it. And so you know JV, right? The venture forward, John Ventura. Check him out. He lost a lot of weight and he's maintained his weight loss and he is doing good and he is healthy. And he will tell you all about it on his show because he's overcome 3 different types of addiction and being obese was one of them. Obese is on the rise. Today, the adult obesity rate is through the roof in 2022. It's insane. And it has to do with people not willing to try. But John says this is a little piece of advice from him. He says the mind needs to be worked upon first, and we have to examine why those attempts fail. Most times, it has plenty to do with codependency or unhealthy coping mechanisms. Okay, so he's looking at like why did they fail and all that kind of stuff. So they followed these people from The Biggest Loser around for like 6 years. They're like, what happened to them? They're doing little studies on them. They're weighing them. They're taking their blood. What they found out is that their RMR, their resting metabolic rate, the resting metabolic rate was kind of ruined. Your resting rate is how much calories you burn just sitting there doing nothing. Your body needs to live and survive. Your brain, your blood's pumping, your heart's pumping, your organs are doing its thing, and you're just alive. And you have a minimum amount of calories you burn to stay alive. And these people, after they lost that much weight, their RMR dropped drastically. On top of that, their leptin levels never turned back to normal. And leptin is a hormone in our body that's in our body fat, and it releases and it helps us maintain our normal weight over a long period of time. And it does this by regulating our hunger. So if you get hungry, you can thank leptin for that. And if you start eating and you get that feeling of satiation, you're full, you can thank leptin for that too.
Thank you, leptin.
Yeah. And losing this much weight that fast ruined these people's RMR and their leptin levels. So they ended up twice as hungry and burning less calories. So normally say they would burn 2,000 calories sitting on the couch doing nothing, just laying there, right? They were only burning 1,500 calories after that. That means to maintain their normal RMR, they would have to have burned in an exercise 500 calories. And if you know anything about exercising, to burn 500 calories in a workout is a strenuous 1 hour full blast workout. It's extremely hard to burn 500 calories in a workout. So this is the reason that a lot of these people ended up gaining most of their weight back. They wanted it now. They did it as fast as they could, jacked up their bodies. And on top of that, there's a little another sidebar. And the reason we're getting into this is what we're about to go through in Atomic Habits is instant fame, instant money. If stuff in your life isn't already built as a good, healthy habit, all the people that were on The Biggest Loser, their weight, their body size was a lagging indicator of their eating habits throughout their life. All that hard work over their lifespan of sitting around doing nothing and eating was the result you saw on The Biggest Loser. Then they worked really hard, lost it all, and jacked up their biology a little bit. Right? Another person that did this, but in a completely different way, was MC Hammer. Who remembers MC Hammer?
He's too legit to quit. You can't touch him.
Can't touch this.
You can't touch him.
Guy goes platinum, right? Early 90s. Can't touch this. Everybody heard that song, Hammer Pants.
Oh, I want some.
Tens of millions of dollars, right? Tens of millions of dollars this guy made, and he was broke just as fast because he didn't have healthy spending habits. His habits of his whole life's ability to run his finances led up to his lagging indicator of his inability to manage tens of millions. If you can't manage $100, you're not going to manage 10 million. If you're not saving money now, making $40,000 a year, you're not going to save money if you're making millions of dollars a year. Your habits, your systems you set in place will show you what you do. And so I'm reading this article on The Biggest Loser and why they lost this much weight. Why did they gain it back? And obviously it has a lot to do with lifestyle change and screwing up their metabolism. And so if you get to the bottom of one of these articles I was reading, it says, let's use this strategy for weight loss. And guess what it is? A habit-based approach.
Ooh.
What book are we going through?
Habits.
Atomic Habits. This says a more sustainable habit-based approach that doesn't include drastic calorie deficit could give you a better chance of adapting, not only psychologically, but also physiologically. Your body and your mind can keep up with a slow, steady pace of having good, healthy habits. So today we're going to finish up on I don't know if we're going to finish up or not, but we are definitely part 2 in chapter 1 today as we start talking about what progress really looks like in your life. You want to stay sober, you want to stay clean, you want to get rid of your character defects. Do you expect this to happen overnight? Why do people relapse at 30, 60, 80, 90 a year clean, right? What is so hard about this first year? Is it our expectations and what we want in this instant gratification right now? Just saying.
Maybe.
Don't go away.
Maybe.
Because Fleece is going to say hello to everybody. And remember, if you get value out of this, please follow, like, subscribe. And remember, the best way to support us is to share and give our content just a little bit of love.
Yes, that would be amazing. Please love us. Hello, Cherie. Cherie from Down Under, Maryland W. One of our biggest supporters right there, I'd say.
100%.
Thank you, Cherie, for everything you do to help us stay here. Jen Ray, hey fam, thank you all for the congratulations on having a year on Friday. Woo!
What?
All
Nice.
the kind words were appreciated. Recovering addict is a major reason I am so strong with my recovery. Congrats on 1 year. Very cool.
Very cool. Very cool. We got
Very
a
proud.
1 year tag.
Yep, we'll have to send you a tag. We'll get with you later. What's up, Brant?
Hey, what's up, Brant?
New addition to our group. Cool guy. Cool wife.
Yeah.
What's up, Steffi?
Hello. I am so thankful for the live stream tonight. Love you guys. Love you so much.
Love you too, Steffi.
Shout out to you, Steph, and all your family. Cohen, what's up, bro?
Jeanette's here.
Isaiah, what's up, bro?
Hashtag Share Squad. Thank you, Petey.
Thank you, Petey.
Aubrey.
Hey, y'all.
Missed you today at pickleball.
Hey, I hurt my foot.
Me and Alicia beat LT and Nick. They just crumbled under the pressure.
Nick and me yelled at each other a little bit.
Was pretty good game. Pretty
That's
good game.
fun.
We got Alec from New York. First time on the page. Love it.
Hey, welcome.
Off methadone 2 days.
Off methadone 2 days.
Sorry.
Now I was on it for 5 years. I'm so happy but struggling. Hey, bro.
You got this. You got this.
Let me encourage you a little bit if I can. Lay a little prayer for you, man. You got this. Just press through. Just think right now, if you give up, you have to start over, and who knows how long that can take. Your next shot could be your last shot. Don't do it. Keep pressing. Trust me. I was in the same boat. I'm going on 3 years sober. In October, I'll hit 3 years, and every day has been tough, but every day has gotten better, and it's compound interest. It gets better and better and better. I'm getting close to 3 years, like I said, And boy, I love life now. Trust me. Just keep going, bro. I have faith in you.
Boom, killing it. Tom Stamplikowski. Now changing our habits. Wife is totally on board.
Yeah.
So much easier to do it when you have a partner.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
What's up, Geesh? Geesh is here.
There's Geesh. We love that guy.
He said, anyway, can you send me that list of books again? Sorry, deleted it.
For shizzle.
Oh, Don's here too. Welcome, Don.
Hey, Don.
Good to see you guys. Good to
Cool.
see you guys. 3 years. Whoop, whoop. Awesomeness. Congratulations. Everybody's saying congratulations. It's been good. How you doing? Geesh wants to know how you're doing.
I'm doing great.
Doing fantastic.
Doing wonderful.
Good day. Good Sunday. Sunday fun day.
It's been a great fun day Sunday. Went on a 4-mile bike ride up first thing in the morning. Straight after that, played pickleball for till like 11:30, and yeah, it's been good. Betsy,
What's up, Betsy?
long time no hear. Partner who's doing it will help. 36 days today for both of us. Good job.
Nice.
Good job, Betsy. So cool. Frozen. Let it go, Jeanette. Let it go. Let it go.
What's up, Rolo?
Rolo in the house.
Pussifer was awesome.
Pussifer was awesome.
Super funny.
Big time awesome. All right. Progress. What does it really look like?
Perfection.
And the reason I want to really hit on this, and the reason that I went to The Biggest Loser and to show what instant gratification does, is because I know we as addicts, we need to change our minds to be patient. Yes. We always want instant gratification. That's why we did drugs. It was instant relief from whatever we were coping with. You grab a bottle, a pill, you look at a website, whatever it is. It's instant mood change, instant gratification. And now you want to get better. You want to be healthy. And guess what? The body doesn't work like that. And healthy habits, good things come to those who wait. What did Roosevelt say? Something like, there's nothing worth having if you didn't struggle for it, or something like that. I don't even know if that was the right guy. But
sounds legit.
It is legit. And it takes time, and we have to understand that. We have to buckle down and realize that if you want to get rid of your character defects, that if you want a happy life, if you want to lose weight, if you want to start a business, if you want a bunch of money in the bank, that you're going to have to buckle down for the marathon. Nothing is a sprint. It's a long haul marathon. And we can't look for that extreme news, that extreme, like, wow, look what I did overnight. I lost this much weight. Let me post this all over Instagram. It doesn't work like that. And so now we're going to start talking about what progress is. So what does progress look like in your life? What do you picture progress to be? Say, I like to use weight loss as an example, just because it's such an easy one to use, because everybody wants it. Everybody struggles with it. Everybody, so it's just an easy example to use. So say you want to lose 15 pounds. Look at your life, look at your eating habits. And what do you think the long haul of that will be? No joking. Like, just seriously, what do you think? Because what we're going to get into right now, if you're following along, we're on page 20. What progress is really like. Imagine that you have an ice cube sitting on the table in front of you, and the room is cold, and you can see your breath. It's currently 25 degrees. For Australians, 25 degrees is below freezing. We're looking at
it's cold.
-5 Celsius, okay? Ever so slowly, the room temperature starts to rise. There's that ice cube on the table. There's your breath, right? It's 26 degrees. Boop, 27 degrees. Boop, 28 degrees. Then the ice cube is still sitting on the table, right? You've gone up a few degrees. There it is, still sitting there in front of you. 29 degrees. 30, 31. For all the Aussies out there, 32 degrees is freezing. So 31 degrees and nothing has happened. Then finally, bam, it hits 32 degrees. The ice begins to melt. 1 degree shift, seemingly no different from the temperature increase before it, has unlocked the huge change. So it went from 25 to 32, but nothing was noticed until 31 became 32. Breakthrough moments. That's a breakthrough moment, and they often result in many previous actions before it, right? Which build up the potential required to unleash that major change. This pattern shows up everywhere. This pattern shows up everywhere in life. You got cancer.
Everywhere.
Cancer spends 80% of its life undetectable. And then it takes over the body in months. Bamboo. It can barely be seen for the first 5 years because it's underneath the ground building extensive root systems.
That's cool.
Way cool. Then all of a sudden, within 6 weeks, boom, this stuff shoots feet into the air. 90 feet. 90 feet.
Not
in like
just a
6
little
weeks.
bit of feet, but a lot of feet.
So 5 years underground. Nobody sees the work. And all of a sudden, boom, 90 feet in the air, there's a bamboo shoot in 6 weeks.
And you're like, oh, that only took 6 weeks to grow.
Yep. That's all we see when we look at famous people, or successful people or people who have lost weight. We see that dramatic change and we're just like, wow. But we never really get to look at all the hard work before that. And that's where all the stuff happens, is in that hard work. Any comments we need to talk about?
Corey says, boo, cancer sucks.
Yes, it does.
And he said also, that's a good moment. Elle is here. She says, hey, beautiful ladies and gents.
Hey, what's up, Al?
Everybody's just saying hello. And Jeanette got her VA compensation approved. Good job.
Oh, cool.
Very cool milestone.
Very cool. So, similarly, habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. Critical habits unlock a new threshold, right? So you got to continue in this habit. Like, just keep this in the back of your mind. You got to be patient. You got to put a system in place, and you got to work it every single day until you finally hit these moments. In the early and middle stages of any quest, there is often a valley of disappointment. You can expect to make progress in a linear fashion, and it's frustrating how ineffective change can seem during the first few days, weeks, months, or even years. It doesn't feel like you're going anywhere. It's a hallmark. It is the hallmark of any compounding process. The most powerful outcomes are delayed. This is often the core reason why it is so hard to build habits. Why is it so hard to build habits? Ask yourself that. How many times have you set a New Year's resolution? And if you set one for 2022, how the hell's that thing going for you? Or do you even raise your hand, honestly, put it in the comments. Did you set New Year's resolutions? Yes. And do you remember what they were? I'm not sure if we did. And if we did, I don't know that I remember us setting them.
My goal's kind of just been the same since I got chunky, so that's probably the same one.
Yeah. What's up, Epi?
What's up, big brother?
So people, this is what happens to us. We make a few small changes. We fail to see any tangible results quick enough. And guess what do? We give up. You think, I've been running every day for a month, so why can't I see any change in my body? Once this kind of thinking takes over, it is easy to let good habits fall to the wayside. But in order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through this plateau. Do you know what this plateau is called? It's called the plateau of latent potential. If you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or break a bad one, it is not because you have lost your ability to improve. It is often because you have not yet crossed the plateau of latent potential. Complaining about not achieving success despite working hard is like complaining about an ice cube not melting when you've heated it up from 25 to 31 degrees. Your work was not wasted. It's just being stored. All the action happens at 32 degrees. When you finally break through the plateau of latent potential, people will call it an overnight success. Wow, you look amazing. Oh my gosh, where'd you get that? How did you do this? How come your business has succeeded so well? Really what they're asking is, what's the secret? What's the easy way?
Nobody wants to know the hard work and habits you put in place.
Nope, nobody wants to work hard. And you got to realize, if you want good things out of life, you want your life to change for the better, you got to get to work.
I watch a lot of CrossFit because I like to. But one of the documentaries is Matt Frazier, who's won like 5 times. But he's like, nobody sees the long hours I put in at night by myself in my garage to get to the fitness level I am to be able to win the CrossFit Games. 5 years. He's like, he just does it by himself. Like,
Nobody
That's
sees how hard
yeah,
he works.
nobody sees that part of what he does.
On top of
but
his diet, his discipline, what time he gets out of bed, what time he makes himself do things when his legs hurt, when
when
his mind's telling him not to
he
do it.
can't do it anymore. Just to be able to go to the CrossFit Games and just put in 5 days of hard work and be the fittest man alive. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
That's all you see is like the 5 days. You don't see the 360 leading up to it.
Yep. And so what do? We go like, I want to do what Matt Frazier does. He just won the CrossFit. That looks easy.
Because he made it look easy.
Because he makes it look so easy. So what do? We start running, right? And then you're like, dang it, I've been running every day for a full month, and I don't see any changes in my body. And guess what happened? That's negative thinking. And once that negative thinking takes over, it's easy to just let it go. Falls off to the wayside. But in order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through that plateau. So it's not because you've lost your ability to improve or that you don't have the ability to improve. It's often because you have not crossed that latent potential, right? When you finally break through this plateau, people will call it an overnight success. The outside world only sees the most dramatic event rather than all that preceded it, just like what Felice was saying. But you know that it's the work that you've done all along. How long ago you've been doing it and how long you've been doing it that finally breaks through to the success people finally see. Yeah, smash that like button.
Yeah,
and remember, the best way to support us is to watch our content and share it out. So if you're new here, please follow, subscribe, hit that heart button. If you like what you see, if you get value out of it, follow us. What were you going to say?
I would say he didn't win the first ever CrossFit Games he ever entered. Like, it took a few before he even won one.
Yeah, not to mention failure.
Yeah.
Which isn't failure, he's just learning.
And then, like, watching Tia, she got second place 2 years in a row. The first one was like, whoa, geez, I didn't know it was this good. The second one, she could have won and didn't push herself hard enough. And she was, like, devastated because it was, like, a battle in her mind because she knew she could do it, but she held herself back. But then after that, she's just been killing it. But, yeah, it's all mind battle. Like, what do you want?
So that type of stuff is the human equivalent of geological pressure. Two tectonic plates can sit and rub each other for thousands and thousands of years. Then one day they rub just right. And once again, in the same fashion that they have done in the same way they have done for ages, just sitting there rubbing. But this time the tension is too great and an earthquake erupts. Change can take years before it happens all at once. Mastery requires patience. The San Antonio Spurs, any basketball lovers out there? One of the most successful teams in NBA history. There's a quote they have in their locker room written by some dude named Jacob. He said, "When nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock." Perhaps 100 times. Right? 100 times he's sitting there with nothing to show for it. No cracks, no nothing. Yet on that 101st hit, the rock cracks. And he goes, and I know it was not the last blow that did it, but all that had gone before it. Reminding the players in the locker room, all this hard work we've done is what's getting us here. And this is what we're talking about right here.
Boom skis. Nope.
Look at that straight line. So we got results, we got time. When you start working out, you got that straight line shooting up through everything. That's what we think should happen. Okay? It says we often expect progress to be linear, just like that straight line. It says at very least we hope it will come quickly. In reality, the results of our efforts are often delayed. It is not until months or years later that we realize the true value of the precious work we had done. This can result in a valley of disappointment. Anybody feel like they're in that valley of disappointment with recovery, weight loss, or anything in their life they're trying to accomplish? Where people feel discouraged after putting in weeks or months of hard work without experiencing any results. However, this work was not wasted. It was simply being stored. It is not until much later that the full virtue of previous efforts is revealed. Valley of disappointment. Okay? It takes time. This could be months. This could be years. Think about recovery. We talk about that. Why do people relapse at 30, 60, 90 days? You're in this valley of disappointment. They're not seeing the progress they think they should. Maybe the first 30 days was this cloud, the pink cloud that everybody talks about. And they're extremely just amazing. And all of a sudden that wears off. They're looking around and they're still on probation. They're still,
Keep going.
And they're still, experiencing difficulties with their husband and their wife and just all of a sudden they're like, I'm doing all this work. I'm trying to work hard. I'm reading my books. I'm going to my meetings. I'm talking, all this kind of stuff is happening. And they end up relapsing at 60 days, 100 days, because they're in this valley of disappointment and they let that overwhelm them, not realizing that they just got to keep pressing with these daily habits until the moment where actual success is revealed in your life and you hit a milestone of something immense, and it happens.
It does. We're going to veer off for a second and answer Tom's question.
Go ahead.
Because his wife's getting ready to go to bed. If it's okay, I want to ask your wife a question. You stood by his side. What made you keep loving him, even seeing his battles? What made me stay? I think I've answered this on a few shows, but I knew who he was before. And then I watched the gradual, into alcoholism. And then I seen his battle through it, and he didn't want to be there, and he needed help to get over it, I suppose. But just watching all of those battles, I knew that there was eventually going to be what we have now. And so I was like, it's worth staying because I love him. And whatever he needs, whatever support he needs, I'll be there when he's ready for it. And so that's what made me stay, I suppose. I'm a ride or die. I wasn't going to divorce him anyways.
What if I would have never changed? What if I quit drinking, but I'd still just had that dry drunk syndrome and was a prick or whatever that looks like?
I feel like we'd probably still be married right now.
Would we?
We'd probably be miserable, but we'd be married. We'd have our own separate lives, but be married.
It's all real,
I don't
what
know.
is your level of commitment? What is your understanding of forgiveness? We talk about this all the time, especially when it comes to relationships. She got to meet me. When she met me, I wasn't drinking. I was fit. I was smoking weed, but I didn't drink or nothing like that. And I just always had a good attitude. I was raising a couple little kids, and I was working hard to get myself out of trouble.
Going to church,
doing Bible studies. I was just, good spirits. And then got a job on base. I started working for the United States Air Force in the F-35 program, and they paid me to work out, and I quit smoking. I quit drinking. I never smoked weed. And so I really got into fitness. That's where our first little bout of CrossFit and all that stuff happened. But then at 34, that's kind of what I remember for me. But I remember we had, I had beers before that, but 34 was kind of yep, I'm drinking again. And we just partied. And that was the slow decline. She saw me go from, I just lost track of what was important in life. I started just partying and drinking, and just the alcohol consumed me. And because I'm an addict, and it took over. And so her memory of when we first met type stuff helped her.
Yeah. And I knew from his struggles, that's not who he wanted to be. So I knew eventually the change would happen.
She trusted our higher power too.
Very much so. Most of all, actually.
Yeah, that's the only hope we got.
Yeah. I was like, I can't do nothing. This is all on you.
Yeah.
Not a saint. Ask the group. They learned a lot the other day.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
We have a local relapse prevention group. If you're in the Utah area, come join us.
There you go, Tom. Sorry.
Let me do that again for Aubrey and Zion. We have a local relapse prevention group. If you're in the area, come join us.
That's beautiful. Take
So,
that and run with it, kids.
We repurpose all our videos. I don't know if you've noticed a lot of content going out on all our platforms, but we try to repurpose these live streams. And so now I'm trying to say stuff on our live stream that we can repurpose too.
Wait, I got one. Follow, like, and subscribe. Support us. Thank you and good night.
Note that at 8:29.
Son, you taking notes? Aubrey's taking notes.
So all things come from small beginnings. All things come from small beginnings. what is a 1,000-mile journey starts with the first step. You've heard that cliche, right? Every YouTuber out there that's successful that we love and watch today started at 0 subscribers. You know, all millionaires that are self-made all started out with no money. You know, you got the trust fund babies and all that stuff, but then that comes with its whole other issue. That's the whole MC Hammer thing, you know? So all big things come from small beginnings. The seed of every habit is a single tiny decision. But as that decision is repeated and habits sprout and grow stronger, roots entrench themselves and branches grow. The task of breaking a bad habit is like uprooting powerful oak within us. And the task of building a good habit is like cultivating a delicate flower one day at a time. You're uprooting a vicious oak system of bad habits out of yourself. And then the good habits you have to maintain as a beautiful florist would with a rose, or a Mr. Miyagi and his bonsai trees. You know, one day, one clip, one beautiful, delicate mist of water at a time.
Something I'm not good at. I will let a bamboo die.
I'm getting better, if we're talking metaphorically.
I was talking about real plants.
Yeah.
But metaphorically, my room's still clean. So
Aubrey's bamboo's still alive.
thank you, LT.
I water it like every 3 months. So, but what determines whether we stick with a habit long enough to survive this plateau and break through to the other side?
I don't know.
What determines in your life? What do you see in your life that's going to give you the ability to stick it out and survive the plateau of latent potential? Question mark. Any comments? Any thoughts? What is it that causes some people to slide into unwanted habits and enables others to enjoy the compounding effect of good ones? How do I have the ability every day to do what I do? I have been increasing my habits, and one huge leap. Like, I took a big jump over when I leveled up doing that 75 hard challenge. I set out a thing of challenges in front of me, and I didn't care what was happening. I was going to make that 75 days of all the commitments that I made. And I did it. And I just made my mind with the grit, like, this is going to happen. And now I look back, like, one time the family and I, we were on a hike. We were all out of shape, all of us, right? We went on a hike, and I said, and I just kind of got in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm not stopping until we get all the way around this mountain, down that valley, up this side, and see what happens when we pop out on the other side. But when we popped out on the other side of this mountain, it was either go back the way we came, or we had to trudge down the mountain and up the road because of the way that private property ran. And so we just kind of kept trudging and ended up going down the hill. And on this day, it happened to be like 100 and some degrees. The air quality was like the worst it was all summer.
Just from all the fires. It was
All the fires and all that stuff last year. And we ended up going a little over 8 miles, almost 9 miles on this hike, all out of shape, hot, crappy day, hardly any water. Jackie was a puppy. We had to carry her most of the way back. You know, we found a little creek thing we were trying to splash, and, you know, everybody's legs are chafing. And we get back to one spot, and Millie and the kids, they're done. Millie's crying. And me and Zylan had to still climb up this other big chunk of mountain to get back to the truck and come and get us. But it's like moments like that in my life where I just do a huge struggle in something that I want to do makes the rest of it easy. Since I did that 75 hard, starting to build new habits in my life has become a lot easier. Ever since we've gone on that hike, no matter what hike, what mountain bike ride we go on, I look at Zyla and I go, still not as hard as that one day, huh? It's never been that hard again. Ever.
Yet. Just kidding.
That type of stuff's what keeps me going.
Jen Ray said, we see small improvements daily. That's what keeps me growing. I love myself more each and every day, being honest.
I can see it in you. From your first posts when you were, you know, just whatever that word is for not quite daring to, whatever, apprehensive. When you were apprehensive to do the challenges and stuff, just your thought process, the stuff you were writing compared to what we're in, like the third month of our 30-day challenges in our Discord. If you're not in our Discord, join 24-hour support, 30-day challenges.
I'll put the link.
30-day challenges include habit building structures in your life. And I've seen it change 5 people's lives drastically. Like, it's amazing. And it's nothing like, it's nothing new. It's nothing I've like thought about. It's just books we study and we do it and encourage each other together. It's amazing. And I'm not going to, I just don't want to quit. It's just like, how do I feel this much lighter on my feet, physically, spiritually, and mentally? It's crazy.
Yeah.
Love it.
That's nice.
And so what we're going to talk about now is forgetting about the goals. We set goals, which is the lagging indicator. You set these goals, you focus on the goal, and you either cross the finish line and revert right back into your bad habits because you think you've accomplished it and it's over and you haven't built anything substantial, right? Go ahead.
Oh, I was just letting Jen Ray know what Steffi said because they're on different platforms.
What do you mean, Tom? The videos are still. This guy says forget about your goals. I think set a goal, just like he's saying. Set the goal, get on your calendar, write it down, and then forget about it. Because you need to backtrack what that goal is going to take, what it's going to take to accomplish that goal. Prevailing wisdom claims that the best way to achieve what we want in life, get into better shape, build a successful business, relaxing more, worrying less, spending more time with friends and family, is to set specific actionable goals. Right? That's a typical wisdom we always hear. You want these things in life, set goals. I do agree with that. But I agree with his approach because he's going to take it a level deeper. Setting goals is the 50,000-foot view. You're looking up. I'm here. I want to be way over there. You're looking at the top of the terrain. You're 50,000 feet in the air, mapping your course out, right? And now what we're going to do is we're going to zoom in to a closer look and get closer to our daily structures and what has to happen every single day. Do I need to go left? Do I need to go right? There's a rock there. Do I need to get a rope? How much water do I need on this trip, to get from point A to point B?
He says the videos won't upload.
Upload?
I don't know, man.
In the Discord? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Probably.
Like the ones that we post in our own thingies? Could be. I don't know. We'll have to get with you later somehow.
He said yes.
Huh. That's weird. Because they play on mine. I'll show you. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Yeah, see. Oh, I dropped it in here. I did not mean to put that video in there. Whoopsie. But here's one.
Good morning. Back on schedule. I'm up in the mountains. I'm at my 2-mile mark.
See, everybody's doing awesome. Well, since we're here, let's go through this 30-day challenge. So over here, 30-day challenge. Look, y'all, it's almost August. Okay, we got 2 weeks till August. I really want more people to get involved in this August challenge. Everybody that's in our community, come on aboard. It'll change your life, okay? So you would go here. I create your own little thing. That one's mine. If we look at Savage Freedom, she's rocking it. She's doing her books, her journaling. She puts her little Bible verses. She does her own little videos. Oh, Steffi's are frozen.
Probably he can't get his.
Good morning, everybody.
Maybe they're too big.
Just wanted to do
you
a
notice
quick
this is
cookie
only
for my cookie jar.
49.8 megabytes.
I'm also out getting my exercise in before it gets too hot with my Jif.
We'll have to upgrade there.
My handsome boy.
I shouldn't. I have it fully boosted. And Steffi does these awesome little collages where she does her journaling. The Case for Christ by Lee Strobel. That's a good book.
That's a good book.
I really like that book. So Steffi's rocking
Also
it.
a good movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie too. Yeah, I've been in there for a while. And then Guiche, he's always busting out his journaling, drinking his water, struggling to think the cookies lately. The cookie jar is something we set up via David Goggins to help us remember why we are strong and what we've overcome. And sometimes it is hard to think. Look, he went on a Map My Ride thing, 8 miles, 570 calories. So cool. Good job, Guiche. Proud of you guys. Look, there's his bike. That's where he crashed. He must have like flipped off.
Been there, done that,
He
man.
must have flipped over and he's over in those bushes somewhere.
How you liking them new shoes? They rocking on your
Look at
bike?
that sick pic. Dang, that's a good picture, bro. That's beautiful. Love it. And then we got Jen Ray, who's rocking it, doing her journaling, doing her exercises, taking pretty pictures, 15-minute fat burn workouts. Grateful to be clean, strong support system, weekend alone, safe environment. And we do gratitude lists. I'm telling you, this is recovery-based. This is solution-based recovery. And this is a super key to it. A lot of people don't realize, man, like, I don't believe this many people need to go to therapy and this many people need to be on antidepressants. I think that if, you know, the 80-20 rule applies. It is necessary. I get it for safety, and there's people that need that. But, man, most don't. They're looking for the easy button. And if you can fix your sleep habits, your eating, and your exercise habits, you're gonna improve your life drastically by 50%. And then you start working on daily habits to improve your mood by positive thinking and healthy things that you do and interact with people. I'm telling you, get into this next challenge, everybody. Anything else?
Tom says, man, you guys are the best. Here in Newfoundland, we have nothing. Well, we're here, bud. We're here. Might be digital, but we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
Geesh is loving his shoes. Best shoes ever.
Awesome, dude. That's so cool.
Y'all are doing awesome. Everyone is proud. Corey eats vegan. Can't do it.
But mostly raw food.
No thanks.
Have fun with that.
I am not the same person I was when I started doing these challenges back in May.
Me neither.
I do not even recognize who I was and will never be the same. I like who you are, Steffi. I like who I'm seeing you become.
Ditto.
Very awesome person, not Steffi.
Ditto. So, this guy says for many years, this is how that he approached life, right? Set goals if I want to get better. Each one was for a goal to be reached. He set a goal for his grades that he wanted to get in school, for the weights that he wanted to lift in the gym, for profits he wanted to earn in business. He said, I succeeded at a few, but I failed at a lot of them. Eventually, I began to realize that my results had very little to do with my goals. I set nearly everything to do with a system I followed. You set the goal, that's great. That's awesome. Everybody sets goals. But that goal doesn't have anything to do with your success. It's the systems you set in place to get there. What's the difference between system and goals? It's a distinction, he said, I first learned from Scott Adams. Nothing is unique. Everybody learns from somebody, and this is all stuff we're just bringing to the table, just like him. He said he learned this from a cartoonist behind the Dilbert comic. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are about the process that leads to those results. Leading, lagging indicators. If you're a coach, your goal might be to win a championship. Your system is the way that you recruit players, manage your assistants, coaches, and conduct practice.
Newfoundland is in Canada, eh?
Newfoundland. Is it Newfoundland or Newfoundland? I'm going to say Newfoundland. Newfoundland.
Say it like a Canadian. It's Newfoundland, eh?
Newfoundland, eh? Let me get a Guinness over here, eh? I don't know. Is that even how they talk?
They say eh, I don't know. They say about, right?
Now, a boot?
Like Dakotans?
Yeah, Upper If you're an entrepreneur,
Oh, he said you're right. Boo.
Newfoundland. Yeah.
She's not. Boo.
High five to Tom. So if you're an entrepreneur, what's your goal? To be a millionaire. Right? Your system is how you're going to test product ideas, hire employees, run marketing campaigns. If you're a musician, your goal might be to play a new piece, but your system is how often you practice, how you break it down, how you tackle difficult measures, and your method of receiving feedback from your instructor.
Yeah, good night, everybody that just went to bed. And hello, Kelly Baker.
Good night and hello and
At least
welcome
I
to the show,
said your
Kelly
name
Baker.
right, Tom.
I did too. Stamplekowski. Now here's the interesting question. If you completely ignored your goals and you focused only on your system, would you still succeed? Yes or no?
I'm going to say yes.
If you completely ignore your goals and all your, like, okay, those are my goals, but screw those things. I don't even care anymore about my goals.
They are what they are.
I'm going to focus on this system. Are you still going to succeed? For example, if you're a basketball coach, you ignored your goal to win a championship and you only focused on your team and what they do at practice each day, will you still get results? I think you would. I think you would. I think the answer is yes. 100% to both. I agree. The goal in any sport is to finish with the best score, but it wouldn't be ridiculous to spend the whole game staring at the scoreboard. The only way to actually win is to get better each day. In the words of the 3-time Super Bowl winner, Bill Walsh, he says the score takes care of itself. The same is true for other areas of our life. If you want to get better results, then forget about setting goals. Focus on your system instead.
Systems.
So are goals completely useless? No. Goals set you in a direction. Systems are best for making progress. Goal, I'm headed north. System, feet start moving. You know? And everything you need in between to get to point A to point B. Here's the first problem.
Uh-oh.
Winners and losers have the same goals.
I liked
Winners
that
and
part,
losers have the same goals. What does that mean? Winners and losers have the same goals. What's the difference between somebody that succeeds and somebody that does not?
Systems.
Goal setting suffers from a serious case of survivorship bias. We concentrate on the people who end up winning, the survivors, and then mistakenly assume the ambitious goals led to their success while overlooking all the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed.
The results of practice is to be able to complete a process that gets you to a objective.
Yes, sir.
Also, please follow, like, and subscribe.
Please. Pretty please.
Cherries on top.
Let me read that again. Goal setting suffers from a serious case of survivorship bias. We concentrate on people who end up winning, the survivors, and mistakenly assume that ambitious goals led to that success, while overlooking the people who had the same objective but didn't succeed. Make sense? We see successful people, they're like, wow, he set amazing goals, that's why he's successful. Other people who set successful goals but they don't succeed, we're like, meh.
Their goals weren't goalie enough.
They didn't set big enough goals.
Just was their goals. Night, Jim.
Jim, have a good night, man. Have a great day at work. Mañana, Monday. Don't have the blues. Be grateful. Every Olympian wants to win a gold medal.
Yes, please.
Is there any Olympian that showed up and said, no, I'll take bronze. That's all I want.
I'll be the first loser.
Every candidate wants to get the job. Did you show up to an interview and say, I don't want this job. I'm just going for the heck of it? No. And if successful and unsuccessful people share the same goals, then the goal cannot be what differentiates the winners from the losers. The goal does not differentiate the winner from the loser.
Thank you, Marilyn.
Thank you, Marilyn, for the super
Very much
sticker.
appreciated.
Love it. Thank you. It wasn't the goal of winning the Tour de France that propelled the British cyclist to the top of the sport. If you remember, they changed everything in there, everything by 1% better.
Pretty cool.
Presumably, they had wanted to win the race every year before. All the 110 years, the British cycling team couldn't win. It's not because they didn't want to, and it's not because that wasn't their goal. The goal has always been there. It was only when they implemented a system of continuous small improvements that they achieved a different outcome. And until you do the same thing with your life, and until I continue to do the same thing with my life, we will continue to repeat the same thing. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you're looking at your life and you're not happy right now, but yet you are not setting a system to get yourself out of it, it's your fault. You are to blame. You have no excuse. You are in control of your life. Write down your excuses next time. Next time you commit to something, say, I'm going to commit to working out 3 days a week. I'm going to go to groups. And then it's that time to go, and you're about to call in, or you're going to throw in the towel and say, I'm not going. What is that excuse? Write it down. And then read it to somebody that has nothing to do with your life, like an unbiased opinion. And unless it's like my arm fell off or my house blew up or my house caught on fire, your excuses, man. You want to achieve a different outcome? You have to set something else up. You want your life to be different than it is right now? Tomorrow, something has to change.
Very true. Very true. I started setting small goals to achieve my big goals. Scheduling a big part of my life.
Good job, Rachel.
Scheduling, yes. Even like small goals. Like my goal has been to just keep my bathroom and my bedroom clean. And I've kept it clean a whole week.
Yes, we have.
But it's not because I let it get messy until yesterday and then cleaned it today. It's because every time I take a shower, I wipe everything down. Every time I get out, and I put my clothes in the same spot. And every time Millie gets out of my room, I'm like, take your garbage with you. It's like those little systems that are helping keep my room clean.
We're really trying to implement the if you dirty a dish, wash your dish thing too. But
That one's a lot harder.
that one's kind of getting tough. You got to lead by example first, by the way. So what's another problem? Achieving a goal is only momentary. We've talked about this. Everything that we do is in that system. And that system is where we spend 99.9% of the time. And when we finally cross that threshold to winning, or when we finally cross that threshold of losing 10 pounds, that is just a momentary victory. And then you're right back to the grind. Or you fall right back to your bad habits. Imagine if you have a messy room and you set your goal to clean it. If you summon the energy to tidy up, okay, your room's destroyed. It's a mess right now. Turn around, look at you. Where are you sitting? Are you laying in bed? Look at your room. Is it messy? Now say your goal is to get it clean. You summon the energy to tidy it up. You're going to have a clean room for now. But if you maintain the same sloppy, pack rat habits that led to this messy room in the first place, soon you will be looking at a new pile of clutter and hoping for another burst of motivation to clean it up. You're left chasing the same outcome because you've never changed the system behind it. You treated the symptom without addressing the cause.
It's true.
I love this book.
Except for making the bed. I feel like that's pointless.
That has to do with discipline. And if you listen to that 4-star general, he says make your bed every day because it sets your first task off as something complete. I see the benefit of it as being structured and disciplined and doing something you don't want to do.
I agree with that, but just going to mess it up again.
Achieving a goal only changes your life for the moment. That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. What?
Steffi said, can you guys see in my house right now? We got cameras, Steffi.
We're watching you.
We're on the hill with binoculars.
So do you see how achieving that goal only changes things for the moment? That's the counterintuitive thing about improvement. We think we need to change our results, but the results are not the problem. What we really need to change are the systems that cause those results. When you solve problems at the results level, you only solve them temporarily. In order to improve for good, you need to solve problems at the systems level. Fix inputs, and the outputs will fix themselves. And that's why I say, if you really want to start getting your life on track, get your sleep schedule, your eating habits, and your exercise routine. And it doesn't have to be drastic.
Just small.
Just small, 1% better every day.
Sure, you watched that general clip. I saw it too. It was a good clip. It was inspirational.
Yeah, that dude is inspirational. Do I make my bed? No.
But my bedroom's clean.
But the bedroom's clean.
Ever since I've been small, I just can't do it.
I have another. And cleaning out my truck. That's another one, too. I need to keep my truck cleaner. I just like chuck stuff. Just like garbage till it's too much.
I try and keep the car fairly clean. I drive by the garbage can every day at work, so I'm like, might as well get the garbage out.
Here's another one real quick before we end. Goals restrict your happiness. The implicit assumption behind any goal is this. Once I reach my goal, then I'll be happy.
Yep.
Once I lose 20 pounds, then I'll be happy. Once I have $100,000 in the bank, then I'll be happy. Once I have, and then if you put a blank and then say, then I'll be happy at the end of it, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
You just gave yourself an ultimatum for happiness.
Yeah. Goals create an either-or conflict. Either you achieve your goal and are successful, or you fail and you're disappointed. You mentally box yourself into a narrow vision of happiness. This is misguided. It is unlikely that your actual path through life will match the exact journey you have in mind when you set out. That always makes me think. Your actual journey is definitely not going to match what you have. Okay, you have an idea of what you want, but on your route to get there, it's not going to be what you've imagined.
No.
Just like in a fight. Dudes always contemplate and imagine what it's going to be like to fight that guy. And when I fight that guy, this is how it's going to go. And a fight never goes the way as you have it planned out. Back foot sweep, elbow, chokehold, he's done. You walk up, pow, you get hit in the mouth. What the hell is that?
That was my plan. That wasn't my plan at all.
That's why they don't give in combat and war when they deploy troops and they give one objective. They give all the systems and structures and everything they need to accomplish this objective, but they don't map out an exact plan because it's never going to go according to plan. As soon as the first shot's fired, plan's totally going to be different than whatever was laid out on paper. They say, here's our objective. This is what we need to do to get here. Let's start using all these systems we set in place and all our training and everything we've been training for to make this happen. And they adapt and move through the whole situation.
Isn't that the great Mike Tyson said that? Everyone has a plan till they get punched in the face.
Everybody got a plan till you get punched in the mouth. Something like that. So a system-first mentality provides the antidote. When you fall in love with the process rather than the product, you don't have to wait to give yourself permission to be happy. So when I was on the 75 journey and all the habits I'm doing now, I love doing those daily. And when I hit my 30 days and I look backwards, I go, wow, look how far I've come. But I've been happy throughout the whole process instead of waiting for that 30 days to give myself permission to be happy because I achieved something. Start focusing on the system. Number 4, goals are at odds with long-term progress. A goal-oriented mindset can create a yo-yo effect. Many runners work hard for months, but as soon as they cross the finish line, they stop training. The race is no longer there to motivate them. And when all of your hard work is focused on a particular goal, what is left to push you forward after you've achieved it? So it's a yo-yo effect. I'm going to do this goal. I got there. Now what? Bang. Click, click, This is why so many people find themselves reverting to their old habits after accomplishing a goal. The purpose
like all
of
the
setting...
Biggest Losers.
Yeah, just like the Biggest Losers.
They accomplish their goal and went right back to normal.
Yeah, well, 90% of them accomplished their goal, and their lifestyle never changed after that. A few did. A few went on to actually be successful, but there's that 80-20 rule. The purpose of setting goals is to win the game. The purpose of building system is to continue playing the game. True long-term thinking is goal-less thinking. It is not about a single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of endless refinement and continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress.
Good place to stop there. So the bed thing is like walking into a fancy motel when the bed is made and it's clean. It just makes you happy because it's done and you don't have to do it.
Yeah. It does feel nice walking into a hotel. It's all freshly made up.
And then it's fun to destroy it and untuck everything.
Untuck. I don't tuck, Jerry.
How they tuck it in so tight? I'm like,
One tucked, one untucked. Seinfeld. Gotta love Seinfeld. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. I'll be back Tuesday morning. We will continue picking this up next Sunday. Tuesday, we're going through a book called Crossroads. If this is your first time here, make sure to follow, subscribe, share us out. Share us out, y'all, please.
share us.
Until I see you Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. Mountain Time, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation. Stay strong, work your programs, and remember, we recover better together.